Yes, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good day to you all. Wherever this video may find you, I hope all is well. I pray that everyone is doing fabulous today. You'll notice the next couple of introductory interviews are being done. Same scene. It's all good. I don't care. Like I said in the last introduction, I've been working on these episodes for the last several months, weaning out things that I may deem, I don't know, I guess unacceptable. But at the same time, I've learned to just let the interviews happen. Two, let what happens stay. And I say that with conviction. I say that because I am alleviating myself from the fears and doubts of what may be. And with that being said, I'm going to be a little less not so long-winded. But I want to bring to you my next interview. Sister goes by the name of Christal McElveen. And we met on a retreat in Beaufort, I want to say about 4 years ago. And we had an interesting interaction on in a guided meditation. I went on a journey to rewrite some Akashic records. And when it was a group guided meditation, and when I came out of it, she looked at me and said, "I saw you in my journey." And that took me back. I had to take a few steps back and wonder how this journey actually is supposed to be. And I say that because that journey took me to places I never thought I would go spiritually, or even in my travels and journeys. And then two, how interwoven we all are, and how not only do we connect in the physical, but how we can connect in the metaphysical. And so, this interview is definitely deep for me. What she shared was very impactful. She was also one of the participants in the Reiki anthology book that I was a part of. So, yeah, buckle up, have fun with this, and enjoy the interview. And I will talk to you next time. Peace. Hey, what's going on, Slim? Or family? How you doing today?
I am great. I am great, old timer.
I know, right? I know. I forget we just officially went from being cordial to official. So how are you, fam?
I am doing amazing, blessed and highly favored, living
Yeah.
my best life, and I trust you as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I am loving these conversations. Mainly in part because one, I enjoy good conversation. And it's a good for me, it's a good countermeasure because I'm an introverted person. Like big conversations, I no, but give me a good one-on-one conversation, and I'm in the house. I feel good about this. I feel good about everything that's been going on in my life, and yeah, and I just want to draw some attention to you, my friend. We have Crystal, and I just want you to the purpose of of these conversations are to talk about paranormal experiences, and paranormal for us is anything. Paranormal can be categorized as anything outside of what we know as normal occurrences. You know, chair slides across the room, a dream, lights outside, your auntie and them saying things in your ear, and anything spirit driven, spirit derived is
Mhm.
categorized as a paranormal experience. And I rock with Black folk, BIPOC folk. Most of the people that I know who's been interviewed have some level of experience with elementals as well,
Mm.
you know, working with the earth, working with candles, working with crystals, working with herbs, spices, medicine, earth-based elemental medicine, whether it's energy, whether it's, something, recipes, so yeah, elementals, paranormal.
Mm.
That's what we're about today.
All
Yeah.
right, let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it. You know what
Yes,
I love
ma'am.
about these is that every story is different and unique, and mine is definitely
Hmm.
unique to me. It was a first.
Indeed. Indeed. I've been looking forward to this for a long time, fam. So yeah, where does all this start for you? What's been going
Oh,
on? And yeah, I guess we can start with one, who you are and what you do nowadays and how it
okay,
trickles into, yeah, what we'll get
absolutely. So
into.
my name is Christal McElveen. I'm also known as Goddess Trinity. I wasn't always Goddess Trinity. I was Christal years ago as a youngin in religion, and I always had questions outside of the norm. You know, who is this
Hmm.
person in the air that I am supposed to pay attention to? Because if not, then my soul was damned to hell. Now I knew why I paid attention to my parents, because if I didn't, I got my butt cut. But a person in the sky that I couldn't see, couldn't witness. And Jonathan, that just took me on a journey of just deeper inner discovery, which eventually led me out of the church and on my own because there was just no answers. So we moved back. We moved a lot. My job moved me, and we moved back here in 2016, actually October to be exact. And my grandmother at that time, my best friend, the love of my life, the woman that pretty much raised me, and I do have a mother, but she began to get ill. So December 31st, 2016 was the day that rocked my entire life. I didn't know anything about spiritualism, no nothing. And that's when I got the call that she was in ICU and all vitals were going bad. And that in itself was a lot because my mother, even though she was there, she was not present. So I had to make a decision to transition my grandmother. And I come from the generation where you do not label what you go through. But I went through 2 years of depression after she passed. I went into
Hmm.
a darkness. And at the time, I still had a prayer closet. At the time, I still had that because I have a direct connection with God. I tell people there is no call waiting when it comes down to me, it's straight to source. And I asked God, I said, this isn't living. I need you to give me an ultimatum. I'm giving you an ultimatum. I'm putting you on blast right now. You either tell me something or I'm gone. Now, prior to that, my husband of 32 years used to smoke for 20 plus years. And when my grandmother transitioned, he was outside on the porch and she came to him and said, Tyshawn, put that cigarette out right now. And he froze. He stopped cold turkey. He had two brand new pack of cigarettes. Cold turkey. No patch, no relapse, no nothing. Now you would think I would be happy, ecstatic, because I'm allergic to smoke actually. I was actually pissed why she hasn't come to me. I'm a granddaughter. I had so many questions. So I went through the cycle, and after coming out that closet, my whole algorithm shifted. Tarot, oracle, people know how to speak to the dead. I never knew none of that. And so I watched for a little while and then I started getting readings. And if you know anything, one addiction can lead to another. nobody really wasn't giving me my answer like I wanted until about 9 months in, the number nine, of course, completion. And there was one oracle, and he told me I can always use his name when I say the story, but his name is Boots. And he said, the reason why you haven't connected with your grandmother is because you haven't allowed yourself to grieve. And I was like, huh. Grief met me very early on. So I didn't know that my superpower was going to be around supporting people and healing grief. So this is what he told me. He said, your grandmother
Mm.
walks with you. She's always been with you. And we shared some intimate things. And this is what he said. He said, in the next 3 days, you're going to see a white feather. That white feather is going to be your grandmother. And I'm still kind of skeptical. I don't know. I'm 0%, 2%. I knew about Miss Cleo. That's all I knew, Jonathan. That's all I knew. Nothing else. Never had a reading besides what I had for that time frame. And he said, I want you to pick up that white feather because that's your grandmother. And when you do, she's going to kiss you on your left cheek. Now, nobody knows that. Nobody knows my grandmother kisses me on my left cheek. When he
Ask
said
you a
that,
question.
yes,
Was this a dream or was this something
no,
going
this is
on?
real. This is real.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
no, this is real. I had a reading. This is a real person.
Okay.
I had a reading via Zoom, and he
Okay.
told me all of this.
Wow.
And so I looked at him and I was like, how does he know that? It wasn't 3 days, it was one day. I woke up the next day. I went to the bathroom. I came back. I looked down. There was a white feather, and I have no feathers in my house. A beautiful white feather. And I gasped as I kind of inhaling now. And I'm looking at the spot where it was because I'm in my room doing this, and it's like, that's my grandmama. And so I picked it up and I immediately fell to my knees and started bawling, snotting, grieving, just everything coming out of me. I mean, when I
Good.
tell you, it looked like if it was a scene for Oscar, I would have got that.
That's
And
what they call ugly crying.
yes, the ugly cry. I mean, everything. And something in my spirit said, Christal, if you don't suck it up and get it together, you gonna miss this kiss. Girl, you don't want to miss this kiss. And so I
Mm.
okay, okay, okay. And I did like that. And she gently kissed me on my left cheek. And I just laid there. And I was like, Grandma, you never left me. And I just felt this overwhelming hug while I laid there. That opened me up to spirituality. And going into that, one of my main elements, because we was talking about the elements earlier, I used to have year-round allergies. Now, this is my grandmother supporting me. I still couldn't hear her, but I could feel her at that time. But I had year-round allergies, so I couldn't go outside long without my eyes doing all the things. And I said, look,
Yep.
Mother Nature, if you are here for me, and people have been telling me in my readings, I'm this profound healer, then how can I work with you if every time I come outside, I'm paying the price? The next day I woke up, I was told to go outside for 3 minutes and gradually continue every day. And about the ninth day, nine is very significant in this story right here.
This one
I
too.
was I was able to ground for the first time ever because I used to, as a child, just always keep my shoes off. But I was able to ground and sit.
Mm.
There's a big tree out here, and Mother Nature said, "I'm ready to show you because you wasn't ready before." She was like, "I'm ready to show you," and that's when I started learning about healing herbs through the for the feet. So the one of the products that I have that I make before I even became a business is one of my now it's Reiki infused foot soaps. It used to just be foot soaps. This is where
Mm.
I
Mm-hmm.
channel different herbs for people with Epsom salt, and I put in dehydrated fruit. Well, of course, now I infuse Reiki in it, and it supports anything, whether it's detoxing the body, healing the body, bringing messages from spirit, whatever you need. I had a pregnant woman that couldn't see her ankles. She had cankles for a long time. Had one of my foot soaps. She called me the next day. Christal, I can see my ankles. I can walk around with no pain. I had another person
Wow.
had plantar fasciitis, whatever that is on the foot.
Uh-huh.
Did one of my foot soaps, completely gone. People that had
Wow.
sciatica, headaches, you name it. I started becoming a herbalist and working with herbs, and I actually started with basil. That was the herb I was told, because I can actually
Mm.
talk to the plant elders, and they let me know which ones for me or a family or a friend or a client, because there's over 7,000 entry points at the bottom of the feet, and we carry all of it in our feet. So I began to start working on my husband, because at that time, he was having steroids in his body. So I was supporting him, and he would tell me how much it would release things out of his body. I mean, to this day, people still use them. They still use them in their foot soles. A lot of people use them in their baths. And women said they would use it as a yoni steam, but it has essential oils in it. So they don't want to do that, which I understand. So
Okay.
that began to keep going. And at that, a lot of stuff I became Reiki. I started
Mm-hmm.
learning. I got certified in astrology, human design, all the things around me. And one day, a bird threw itself at my front door trying to get my attention. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, I'm not doing this. What is this? I'm not doing this. Y'all are moving too fast for me. I don't have nobody
Mm-hmm.
to talk to. My family, so I have a couple sides. I have a mom, a dad, a bonus mom, a bonus dad. Well,
Mm-hmm.
that side of the family that I grew up with, I'm thinking I can share it with them. I need to share this.
Right.
Jonathan, oh, they
Yeah, yeah.
criticize me. What about God? What about your spirit? You don't love this? What about this? What's going to happen to you? And it made me feel so bad on the inside, so bad. And I remember crying that night, and I said, Grandma, if this is what I'm supposed to do, this don't feel good. That
Mm.
night, I didn't know anything about waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Spirit woke me up at 3:30.
Uh-huh.
And I heard they said, Christal, and I'll jump up out my seat. I said, what is this? And I said, okay, I'm gonna try to go back to sleep. And all I heard was, no, you're not. Shadow work. You have to learn shadow work. And I said, shadow work. I said, I don't want nothing in the shadows. I don't want any of this. What are you talking about? Next day,
Right.
algorithm change, inner child work, mother father wounds, whatever, you name it, all the things. And I'm like, hell, I got all of that. I got all of that plus more. And so I went on the journey to start doing shadow work. And the reason why I brought that in is because after I did a lot of shadow work, because shadow work is ongoing. I did a
Yeah,
spiritual
of
bath.
course.
I did a spiritual bath. And one of the new things I put in the spiritual bath was black walnut. I never had a spiritual bath with black walnut.
Mm-hmm.
I came out of that bad boy speaking some form of a language. And I went to record it. And by the time I started recording it, it was coming out in human, but it was coming out slurred. That's when I got the name Goddess Trinity,
Uh-huh.
guardian of the shadow realm. So what
Was
does
it the
that mean?
goddess talking?
Yes, it was the goddess
Uh,
talking, the triple goddess, which is also this
okay.
tattoo right here.
Yeah, I see
I
that.
have the ability to see in the dark realms. So I'm a seer. I have the ability to see where your actual shadow began. So we're like an onion. and there's layers to the onion, but then there's a
Mm-hmm.
core. Where the
Mm-hmm.
core is where your shadow began. So if you have an
Okay.
insecurity with someone, and I'll just use you
Mm-hmm.
for instance, and let's
Mm-hmm.
say you have a mother wound, but the woman you are dating, something is coming up in that. It's not the woman, it goes
Right.
back to your mother. Because
Right.
if you're with a woman, then you attract your mother, and if you're with a man, you attract your father. And so I'm able to
Mm-hmm.
peel, I'm able to see all the way back. And with that, I'm able to support women and men because I mentor as well in like a year or more where we go in and heal the shadows that are coming up. And so that requires meditation, speaking to their spirit team, speaking to their ancestors of their highest and best. And that's in the
Mm-hmm.
form of either meditation or just automatic journaling, or when we have sessions and their ancestors are
Mm-hmm.
coming in, because that's the only time that they're welcome. Because I had to have strict boundaries. You know, if you're connected with spirit, you have to have strict boundaries on that because I'm the human.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But
Right.
in that, I have had times where I've been told that my face changes and I look like someone aunt right on Zoom. My voice has changed where
Mm.
it either get deep or it goes
Yeah.
high.
Yeah.
And then I'm able to see, especially grandmother spirits. When grandmothers come in, and I'll be like, your grandmama is doing this right now to you, and saying, and they'll just be like, that's how my grandmama used to talk to me. And I'm like, I still to this day, I be in awe and amazed as much as they are, as much as I can bring forth to support someone in healing. One of my mottos is I am your spiritual liaison to your truest heart's desires, whatever that is for you. So I've had all types of stuff, lights flickering.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I if I'm connecting with someone on a deeper level, and let's say if their throat is bothering them, I will tell them
Mm-hmm.
it's the right side of your throat bothering you right now, and they'll be like, "How
Mm-hmm.
do you know?" Because my throat is bothering. And since I am obedient and I am a healer, I will go or already have my herbal tea, my nettles, come on, nettles, my echinacea,
Yeah.
and my peppermint, because I know, because the ancestors tell me every single time. Women with any type of breast issues or sacral issues, I can hear right through here their sacral
Mm-hmm.
chakra and what it's saying or what the disconnect is. I mean, Jonathan, I can tell you a lot of things, but
I bet.
I'm a pause and let you ask questions because I can tell you a lot. There's a lot. I've even had a spirit jump out when I was driving, and I told them, I said,
Really.
this is when I was
Not today.
establishing my boundaries.
Yeah.
I was like,
Not
no, you
today.
cannot communicate with
We
me
don't
that
do
way.
that.
We
Yeah.
do not
We
do
don't.
that.
We don't do that. We
We
don't
don't
do
do
that. Not like
that.
that.
Yeah, not
Those
like
three
that.
words, those three words stick out for me. Not like that. I'm more than open to listening. Not like this. You can't just pop out, boom, here I am. Oh shit, you can see me. I can see you. I can hear you, but I'm in the middle of something. Not right now. When you hear, when they hear the bowl, that's a call. Then cool. I'm taking a knee, or I'm watching TV. No, come on, chill. Chill.
That's right.
So so you pretty much went adolescent, young adult, young, pretty much with just not just church activity, but just in church and nothing spiritually. It all connected with your grandma leaving.
That's it.
Fascinating. It's like the download just came right then and there. And
It
and
did.
even and even then, they say you still wasn't ready. I like boots. I just say when you was talking about boots, I was like, big up boots. Now, is that the name of a guide, or is that the person that you was just on the Zoom call with? There's a
That's the
person
guy.
they
No,
channeled
that's his
someone named
name.
Boots.
That's his
Oh,
name.
oh, oh,
That's
oh.
his name.
Okay,
His name is Boots. He's the hip hop oracle. He's on Facebook and everywhere. He's a celebrity
gotcha,
oracle, and
gotcha.
he does this really big. And he told me a lot about myself, but because I
Uh-huh.
did not know. But when he told me
Yeah.
that the left cheek is what got me, that's what got me,
Yeah.
John. That
There's
did it.
always something. There's
Yeah,
always one nuance that the people will know.
yes.
Um, so talk a little bit about plant elders. I don't believe I've ever heard that term before. Plant
Yeah.
elders.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, they are the
Mm.
herbs, and they've
Uh-huh.
been here way before we have, and they will be here
Mm-hmm.
way after we leave. And so
Mm-hmm.
to me, that is the elder. They come with the wisdom, not only the healing, the wisdom, the knowledge, how to
Mm-hmm.
use them, when to use them, how to boil them, how to cook with them. It's already
Hmm.
in us. When you're doing your seasoning, we don't
Oh
have to pay
yeah.
attention to no
Oh,
recipes.
absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
that's your elders coming in, giving it to you to get that, and so it's a big
Man,
honor
I
for me.
put my whole face in the pot and smell. That's how I know what's needed.
See, there
Yeah.
you go. There you go. All the senses is aligning up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
because they come from the plant and they are elders in wisdom, that's how I honor them sacredly. And like I said, I started with basil and my land here, because I live on 5 acres of land. This is like elder to me. Everything here is sacred. And so plant elders is what I came up with. And ever since then, we started from there. So I started with basil. And when I say I take in a herb as a herbalist, that means I grow it, I drink it as a tea. I even sometimes, if I can, I'll chew it regularly. I will do my foot
Hmm.
soak. I will do a bath. If I can do a yoni steam with it, I will, and put it in my food because your body has different ways and reacts different ways in consuming the
Yep.
herb. And the herb is for many different things. It's not just protection or, healing on this side. It's for many things. And so when I speak to the herb, it lets me know what it's for. Now, I just ask. I'll be like, all right, I have a client that's boom, 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 and they'll tell me, here, get some hibiscus, some motherworth, mix it all together and give it to them. And then the healing commences. And then I put my
I
prayer. I'm
was
always praying. I always do my prayer though. I do. And my
that part.
prayer is calling in on the ancestors of the highest and best, spirit
Hmm.
team of the highest and best. Because we got the lowers too. You got to be very
Hmm.
specific when you're saying your prayers. Well, for me, I do.
Absolutely. I was told George Washington Carver had that same gift, like that with because he you know who he is, right?
Hmm.
The grand inventor. I forget what documentary I was watching, and on down the line, people would ask you, where do you get all this knowledge from? And you told them the plants tell me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. They speak.
they
They,
do
they,
speak.
they speak. I just
If if
listen.
if if you hold a plant in your hand, which I'm quite sure you've done in the past, you can listen, whether it's audio or just a sentient sensation.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't practice it enough, but I've practiced it. I've practiced that enough to get a feel, knowing that they're trying to communicate. I don't know what they're saying, but I can hold that leaf or that branch and be like, "You're alive, dude.
Hmm.
You're alive.
Absolutely.
You're
Yes.
alive."
Very
And
much
well,
so.
yeah. So, what Reiki levels did you end up doing? Because
Oh,
I'm you've gone through all of them. Okay.
yeah.
Isn't
And
that a fun process?
yeah, it was. I did them all with Ife Tayo, Mama Ife Tayo. She
Okay.
told
Okay.
and even how we met was very odd too. Very, very odd. But she said I was her first student that went the fastest. But when I showed up at her house, she opened the door and told me, she said, I've been waiting on you. And I never met
Wow.
that woman in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a
She
very
just
deep
knew.
connection. Yes. So
Yeah.
I'm an intuitive Reiki master teacher, which means I channel messages from the other realm. So
Hmm.
after the session, I pretty much give people whatever comes, whether that's a spirit animal or a message, or if there's something that they got a deep question about, but they're not really
Hmm.
saying. Um, and that's where I show up. And that was even I yeah, let me share that. So
Hmm.
St. Helena Buford, one of the ladies with Ife Tayo, I was learning more, practicing Reiki before I made it a business. And they was doing a Reiki community share. And it was like, come to, gosh, I can't think of the name of that store, but she doesn't have it no more. Someone else has it. And I went there to do the community share. And so I'm giving Reiki. There's several people out there. I'm giving Reiki, and I'm
Hmm.
beginning to hear things. And I'm like,
Uh-oh.
this is before I
Uh-oh.
could, think. I'm like, what is this? And so I'm looking around, and she's looking at me. She's like, Christal, are you okay? And I'm like, I didn't say anything because I wasn't comfortable.
Hmm.
So all of a sudden, there was this nudge. And I was like, somebody's grandpa Joe is here talking in my ear. And the lady on the table says, that's my grandpa. And I'm
No
like,
way.
and I'm doing like this. And so, and I'm saying, like, because I don't, there was no coach, no training, no nothing. And I'm just like, it's just spilling all out of me. So I walked over because she has a crystal shop attached to it. On my way back, other spirits started talking. And so I walked in, and I just said it. I was like, stop with praying about money and do what you said you was gonna do. And the lady on the table got up and was like, I said, oh, what's going on? Somebody tell me something. What's going on with me? At the end, the owner, she said, I think her name was Teresa or whatever her name was. She got a book out now. She was like, Christal, you're a Chandler, right? I said, what's that? I don't know what you're talking about. So she sat me down, talked to me for about 20 minutes, and I was so thankful because I thought I was losing my mind. I did. I thought I was
Wow.
losing my mind. And at that time, I was Reiki 2. I tell people this: Reiki 1 opened me up deeper to me.
Hmm.
Reiki 2 not only
Hmm.
opened me up to other people, but it took my gifts like a light switch. I don't teach gifts because mine came on after Reiki 2.
Hmm. It does what it does.
It does what it does. In the
Does
words of
what it
Jamila,
does.
the Reiki Mafia will have way with you. And it did. And it all came in. All of it. I was
Yeah.
tasting things. That's when I stopped eating pork. No, that's when I stopped eating pork because I saw exactly what was going on with it and what it was doing to the body. Mm-mm.
Mm.
And things just started shifting. And after about 3 months of it, because if you don't have boundaries, it's a wear and tear on the body. Everything that I
Of
went
course.
through initiated me into placing boundaries, self-care, self-love, all the things that is needed, required to walk
Mm.
this plane where you still got all your senses and that you love what you do.
Right.
And so I give thanks to everything that I went through. I mean, I got stories for days, but yeah, like I move things off of people. I don't
Hmm.
just do Reiki. When I do Reiki,
Right.
yeah, when people have heaviness, energy that they wanted to move like a block, I'm able to see it and feel it and, move it off. So, yeah.
Fascinating. One thing I've learned as a Reiki practitioner, because I haven't gone through Mama Ife Tayo, but I do have the master teacher symbols. Um, I got into Reiki in 2012. No, 2010.
Mm,
2010. Um, Prior to that, I had been a natural soap maker. So,
mm,
and over the, so I was catching definite similar nuances with you with the Epsom salt foot scrub, the rubs. It you eventually you got to work in Reiki into those. That's what happened to me too, because
Mm.
I found myself making soap. Um, yeah, draw the chokure symbol in it, and eventually I started working more around the new moon because it's a
Mhm.
cleansing cycle, and what better thing to make during a cleansing cycle is soap. Because soap is cleansing. Soap cleans, it washes away. And I love how Reiki. I'm, and this is just recent. This is a recent nuance. I would go as far as to say that Reiki has been my best teacher to date.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Ashe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've gone through certain, ritualistic practices, scratched and follow, and other things, but Reiki has been my first and foremost initiation, if I may,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Yep.
been with me ever since. Yeah, this is fascinating. Fascinating.
Same. It's
Yeah. So
it,
plant elders, yeah. And one more thing before we get to my final question. Transition. You help transition grandma. I
mhm.
just jotted that down. What was that like? What was that
Mm.
about?
It was scary. Well, her
Mm,
organs failed, so I had to be that decision maker. My
okay,
mother,
okay.
my mother did not want, but there's a story that goes to that. There's a reason why you asked why you asked that. So doing that and giving the doctors the go ahead, me walking out was very hard on me. But what I did not know was that I support my other ancestors, my other people that's transitioning to go to the
Mm-hmm,
light. So it's only certain
mm-hmm,
ones that I am called. The last one I
mm-hmm,
did was my Aunt Sue. So my Aunt Sue transitioned, was that last year? I think it was last year, whenever she transitioned. But um, I support them in moving towards the light so they can commune back with their side to the ancestors. And that can look like saying a prayer, lighting a candle, or it can look like going up to the hospital with the things that I need that I'm told to take and doing whatever it is that I need to do. And so with my Aunt Sue, I went up and she was 91, 92 when she passed. So she was already in the hospital for pneumonia and something else. So we couldn't go in the room. So I came and my cousin Dolores, which I call her Aunt Dolores, she was there and it was like she just knew. She just knew that I was going to do something. And the items that I had, I did it right on the outside. And soon as I got done, Aunt Sue looked up. She looked up and I was told like maybe the next day she transitioned. And so I light the candle, say the prayer, and that's the guiding light so she can go that way. It has a name. I think it's called Death Doula, but I don't do it that often to give it a title. I just know that when it calls in my spirit, that I do. Oh, you're
And you
muted,
only
Jonathan.
yeah. And you only do it for a select few. It's not like something you do. You're not advertising. Hey, this is what I do. 'Cause,
Yeah, no, I don't
there's no.
advertise.
Yeah,
I have
there's no.
enough
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, I've been a part of the process of my father's funeral, a brother's funeral, and my daughter's funeral. Just the one that has to sit with people to make arrangements. Yeah.
Hmm.
In fact, I have an appointment. I'll be in. Are you in Columbia?
I'm 30 minutes from Columbia. I'm in
Okay.
Lexington. Hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I'll actually be in town in another week or so because I have to do the same thing. There's another family member who, this time we're being proactive as
Okay.
opposed to reactive. Yeah, so I'm, and no one's ever asked me to do that. No one ever
Mm,
asks you to do this. It's just someone
just
has
have.
to step up.
Yes.
Someone has to step up and do it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
Because
in that, we're also clearing any karmic debt that was not
hmm
to
hmm
support them on where they're going next. And I'm honored
absolutely.
to do that, you know.
Absolutely.
I don't, but I know it's not a plan, and they know that it's not a plan for me for it to be advertised. But it is just something in my spirit. When I know it's time, I get the download the night before or a couple days before when I'm deep in meditation, and I just tell them, I say thank you, and then I just do. And when I show up, it just happens.
Yeah.
It's very warm. It's very inviting. No one questions what I'm doing.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah,
Good. And the more of our family members on this side are greeted with that type of transition, the more available they are for us when we make it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That is correct. Yes,
Yeah.
because that
Yeah.
heaviness is real.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. Losing this body, it's a task. I,
Hmm.
I only say that because I've experienced some forms of astral projection
Mm.
more than my share of time. So and I can it's to the point where I know, oh shit, I'm out of my body. You know, it's like a load, just boom. Next thing you know, it's real. It's real,
Mhm.
and not a lot of people can not a lot of people can handle that until they have
Oh
to,
yeah.
right?
Until they have to.
Until they have
Yes.
to.
And
Yeah.
sometimes that is their initiation because
Mm,
fear. Fear is the
mm,
number one thing around here. So you got to
mm-hmm,
your nervous system, your body has to feel safe. And because if not, you're
mm-hmm.
not doing it. You're not doing it willingly. Nobody's not signing
Right,
up for it.
right.
So
Oh, I'm
yeah.
so glad you mentioned fear because that is the closing question that I have for these interviews. And everyone is asked this question. So by the time these interviews start rolling out, that's the common theme. There's no right or wrong question. There's no right or wrong way to answer this because it's all experiential. But what do you think fear actually is? What is it?
Mm, I
And
love that
again,
question.
there's no wrong right or wrong way
Yeah.
to answer
Uh,
it. Just how you
Oh,
feel.
absolutely. Because right or
Yeah.
wrong don't exist. Fear is a program. It's control.
Mm-hmm.
It was generated by the Matrix to keep people in line, in order. That's what it is. So they could not be able to obtain their internal power. A lot of things is around fear, i.e., religion. So it controls people. And, but because without that, they will not ever, if they do decide to do the inner walk, they wouldn't be able because we came here, Earth is a school. So even though you came here into something, conditioning, limited beliefs, program, fear, whatever it is, you had to go through that so you can evolve to become you.
Mm-hmm.
So fear is just it's just a program. That's all it is. Once you get out of it and see that, oh, this is just me afraid of me and what is being said in here and conditioning things I learned from my parents. And when you drop it where it's at and do the healing, then you open yourself up to the infinite, to all your juice. I tell everybody, you have exactly what I have. We're all interconnected. I just decided that this was going to be, I chose, chose it. It chose me. It was already, it wasn't a choice. Am a spiritual being having a human experience. I made that decision up in the realm somewhere. So it's not chose or chosen. It's this is who I am. I am that I am, which you are a reflection of me and I am a reflection of you. That's my
There you go.
answer.
So fear is a program just as much as curiosity is a
Yeah.
program. You just got
Yes.
to reprogram, transmutate fear into curiosity, and things start happening.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just like they try to give the in the tarot deck, they try to give the Fool card a bad name. The Fool card is actually the most powerful card in the tarot deck.
One of my
because
favorite people on there.
the fool jumps and says, "Well, I'm either gonna fly or something's gonna catch me."
Yeah. That's what, yeah, my favorite card on there in the deck is the Fool. He rarely shows up in my readings, but I like the guy. There's a joie de vivre to him. He doesn't care
He
because he's
doesn't care
not going to be harmed.
at all. Nothing is
He
here to
won't.
hurt or harm you. Nothing, unless you
Right.
give it that.
Unless you give it
Yeah,
license and agency to dominate you.
that's right. Because
Very
everything is
true.
a lesson. People come
Mm,
for reasons, seasons, lessons, and blessings. That's
mm,
why I'm able to be in my marriage for so long and do this inner work because my husband is just a reflection of me. And at the time, he was just showing me my darkness. I was just in
mm.
denial at the time.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, this has been a pleasure. This has
Yeah.
been, and I know we've only scratched the surface. And we're definitely going to have to do more of these
Mhm.
talks. These introductory talks have been really amazing, and maybe you can come back on and focus on something specific in future conversations. But yeah, this was awesome. I cannot thank you enough
Thank
for this.
you.
Yeah, and we'll get a bio and we'll get all of the important information. Oh, how can people find you? How
Oh,
can people
many
find
ways.
you?
So my
Yeah.
business name is Neptune's Gate, and that is www.neptunesgate.com, neptunesgate.com. My number, which is 828-291-3156. I am on Facebook, Christal McElveen, which is MCELVEEN, and
Mhm.
my email, which is quartzqueen369@gmail.com. So I'm pretty much all over. If you Google
All over the place.
Neptune's Gate, you'll find me.
Okay. All
Yes.
right. Good deal. Good deal. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
This was amazing.
Yeah. Blessed be you. Let's keep in touch and let's have another conversation at some point. Okay.
Absolutely.
And
You
yeah,
got it.
and I will see you out there on social media. Okay.
All right. You take care.
All right. You be well. Peace and
All right.
blessings.
Peace and blessings to you.